Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over this 2021 AMG C63s Sedan, but I would like to give a special thanks to Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay for providing me with the 63s Sedan. If you're in the market for a new Mercedes-Benz, you can come check out Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay and ask for Lewis. He'll get you into a new or pre-owned vehicle. But let's start off this review here underneath the hood here of the C63s Sedan. This has Mercedes-Benz 4-liter bi-turbo engine. It's handcrafted. It makes 503 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, which is great 0 to 60 timing. This is paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is rated at 17 in the city, 26 on the highway, and 21 combined. And as the C63s Sedan sits, it weighs 3,900 pounds. But shedding the hood here of the 63s here, I do like this red exterior paint. It looks really good with the black accents here. Looking at these headlights, they're adaptive and they swivel. It does have an automatic low and high beam with an LED turn signal with an LED daytime running light. And of course, since it's the C63s, it does have a lot of large intakes, so basically we keep that V8 cooled. I do like the vertical slats here in the Panamerica grille. Looking at the 3-pointed Mercedes emblem that does house the emergency braking with the adaptive cruise control. There's also a front-facing camera. There is front parking sensors here, but I want you guys to comment down below in the comment section. What do you think about the C63s Sedan? I think it looks really handsome, especially with this red exterior paint. Looking at the side profile here of the C63s Sedan, I started with these tires and wheels here. These are a 245/30 tire. They're wrapped in this 19-inch rim design. The rotors are cross-drilled and ventilated. I do like the red brake calipers. It looks really good with the exterior paint. I'd also like the matte black finish here. You do get 265 tires in the rim, so they're going to be staggered wheels, so I can put the power down. Like I mentioned, this makes over 500 horsepower. This is V8 bi-turbo badge there. This is LED sight marker here on the mirror cap. And for 2021, Mercedes-Benz made the panoramic sunroof standard on the C63s Sedan. The overall length for the C63s Sedan is at 187.3 inches with a wheelbase of 111.8. But let's take a look at the rear of the C63. So looking at the rear here of the C63s Sedan, I started with these taillights. They're going to be a full LED with an LED turn signal, brake light, and reverse light. There's the C63s badge here, the 3-pointed Mercedes emblem, and the AMG badge. I wish Mercedes would have offered a carbon fiber rear spoiler here or a blacked out spoiler, but it does match the exterior paint here of the car. But looking down here, there's a reverse camera, of course, and also LED lights for the tag. There's also quad tip exhaust. It's finished off in this black chrome trim. There's rear parking sensors. But I'm gonna let you guys hear how the exhaust sounds really quick. Oh man. As you guys can hear, the 63 does have a nice growl to it once you put it into its actual race mode. But open up the cargo bag here. This does have a power opening trunk. Mercedes says you get 12.6 cubic feet of space. Pulling this tray out here, just in case you had groceries and whatnot, you can just push this down. And just in case you had like a jacket or a book bag, whatever, you can put this inside this little compartment here, so the stuff won't be rolling around in the actual trunk. If you're not using it, just press this button here and it retracts and you can push it back into place. And underneath here, there's gonna be more underfloor storage. But let's hop into the interior of the C63s Sedan. Sitting inside the interior of the Mercedes-Benz C63s, looking at this interior, you guys know Mercedes does a nice interior, but new for 2021 is this 12.3-inch digital display. Mercedes has made it standard for 2021. There's this 10.25-inch display here, but shutting the door here of the C63 here sounds pretty solid. To start up the C63, just put your foot on the brake and press the start-stop button over here. This has Mercedes 4-liter bi-turbo engine. Looking at the door panel materials, it's going to be a nice leatherette material with some stitching. There is a 3-level heated seats. You can get cool seats, but as a part of an option, there's this metal speaker cover here for the Burmester sound system, which sounds pretty good. Looking at the door panel controls here, it does have 3-person memory seats with your seating controls. It is automatic up, automatic down for all 4 windows. You can power fold the mirrors in as well, just in case you're in a tight area. You don't want nobody to basically take off your mirrors. You can power fold them in. A nice grab handle here to shut the door. There's a real metal grab handle there. Your lock controls are here. You can lock the windows. Over here is going to be for the trunk release, cup holder and storage. A nice area here to rest your elbows. Looking at the steering wheel, there's some carbon fiber with some suede Alcantara. Honestly, I would just not get the suede Alcantara. I might get a leather, and Mercedes offers that. There's real metal paddle shifters to cycle through that 9-speed automatic. You can put this thing in the sport mode here, as you guys can see from this 12.3-inch display, which looks really good. You can put it in a race, sport, plus, a sport, comfort, individual or slippery mode. Over here is going to be the headlight controls. The turn signal stock is there, and one wiper stock. And over here, this is how you put the vehicle into drive, reverse, and neutral. Put your foot on the brake. As you guys can see, Mercedes offers one of the best backup cameras in the industry. There's different angles around the car. But I forgot, you guys cannot use the touchscreen. It does not do it. You have to use this little rotary knob here to show you different stuff, because this is one of the older Mercedes interface instead of the MBUX system. But to put it back into park, press the button there. I like the 3 air vents here. This does offer Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but unfortunately you have to use this rotary knob here, which is kind of a learning curve for me personally. I don't like that you have to use this. I'm so used to touching the screen. But just moving over here, the Apple CarPlay takes up the complete screen. This is a 10.25-inch display. There's beautiful carbon fiber here. I like the carbon fiber. You can't open and close the exhaust here. There's an automatic start-stop. You can't access the cameras through here. This is this little rotary knob here for the volume control. You can rest your wrists here. Looking at the key fob, it does have a lock, unlock, a hazard button, a trunk release, and of course you have the AMG emblem in the back, which looks really good. The key does feel nice and sturdy in my hands. There's 2 cup holders here. You can also cycle through the different drive modes from this little toggle here. It does show you what's here on the actual screen. For example, slippery, individual, comfort, sport, sport plus, and race. It opens up the baffle. This is also for the suspension, the traction control. This is double hinge. It's also nice and padded. It does offer a shallow amount of storage. My iPhone 12 Pro Max fits in there just fine. The seats in here, they're supportive, they're comfortable. I like the AMG badge here with the gray piping here on the seats, which looks really good. And standard for 2021 is this panoramic sunroof to let light into this cabin. There's also LED lights throughout this whole cabin here. There's this frameless mirror. Looking at the glove compartment, it does offer a decent amount of storage. There's this aluminum trim here with this nice leather up dashboard. But overall, Mercedes has done a really good job here with this interior, but I'm just not a big fan here of the 2 screens here. I wish they would just put them both together. So get into the back seat here of the C63s Sedan. Shutting the door here, the door sounds pretty solid. The materials are carried over from the front to the rear. Mercedes does throw in these 2 mat pockets back here for storage. There's your own set of air vents back here. You can open and close them. Pulling this down here, it does reveal 2 USB ports and also a 12-volt. And since this is rear-wheel drive, you can fit a middle passenger here just in case you don't like them. And with the panoramic sunroof cutout, it does eat up the headroom here, but I do have a decent amount of headroom here, and it does let a lot of light into this cabin. And Mercedes did make this standard for 2021. Putting this armrest down here, it does reveal some storage and 2 over-engineered cup holders, which I do prefer from Mercedes. I do like that. But overall, the C63s Sedan does have a spacious back seat for most people. Starting off in the 2021 Mercedes-Benz AMG C63s Sedan. And this does have a good old V8 underneath the hood. It makes 503 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission. I noticed with the ride quality in here, it does feel a little harsh on harsher pavement. This does have 245 tires in the front and 265 tires in the rear, so it does have staggered wheels. Fuel economy from this big old V8 here is rated at 17 in the city, 26 on the highway, and 21 combined. Of course, premium gas is recommended. Oof. And talking about picking up speed real fast, Mercedes says 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. And new for 2021 or standard, they have this 12.3-inch digital display. They also added this panoramic sunroof for 2021, which is a nice feature because it does let light into this cabin. One thing I do not like is that they don't have the 2 screens connected here. It's just a 10.25-inch display here, which is a decent size, but once you touch it, there's nothing gonna happen. You have to use this little rotary knob here on the center stack because you can't physically touch the screen, which I'm not a big fan of that because it takes your eyes off the road in order to mess with the wheel. But the seats in here, they're supportive, they're comfortable, they hold you in place. They're not aggressively bolstered. Maybe a little bit. They should have been a little bit more aggressively bolstered. If you guys have a prior history of speeding tickets, the C63s Sedan, it's not a good car. It does have great acceleration. The handling is precise, just like a hot knife through butter. It does handle really good. I do like the carbon fiber here on the top and the lower part of the steering wheel here. I'm not a big fan of the suede Alcantara. Maybe if Mercedes option in a leather, I would definitely check that option box. And this is rear wheel drive, and it weighs 3,900 pounds. But let's put it into its actual race mode here. The baffle did open up. That exhaust sounds freaking phenomenal. That's crazy how it sounds. And the shifts are so fast, they're so precise. But like I mentioned, the ride quality of this car is not this car's strong suit because of the tires. Like I mentioned, there's 245 tires in the front and 265 tires in the rear. But let's do a launch here. So it's in this race mode already. Let's put it into, let's turn the traction off, put on the brake and accelerator. And like I mentioned, this is rear wheel drive, so the car will get a little tail happy. And the exhaust sounds pretty good, but it doesn't have that crackle and pop like I would like it to have. This is second gear. This is first gear. And once you use the paddles, it's very responsive. It does have a good sound from the V8. Don't get me wrong, it sounds really good. But turning the traction back on here and putting this thing into its actual comfort mode, as you guys can hear the difference. It's quiet, and it got quiet in the interior, but you still hear a little bit of the exhaust. So I have a floor from comfort. It doesn't do too much in comfort mode, but the C63S here is a good sedan. It does have really good cargo in the trunk area. You get 12.6 cubic feet of space. So if you wanted to do a little bit of grocery shopping in this car, you can definitely do so. And Mercedes does offer that little tray that I showed you guys. You can add more stuff in that tray, so the groceries won't be rolling around, just in case you have to pass someone on the highway or expressway. But the C63S here, it does have really good passing power. This makes 503 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. The ride quality is really good, but personally I will switch the tires out because it does make the car feel a little bit bouncy on certain roads. Well, here in Miami, we don't have the best road. That's probably why it feels like that. Oh God, I don't know, I'm speechless. This car has really good handling. The suspension feels good. If I were to get this car, I would switch the tires out because it does feel bumpy on certain roads. Maybe you guys stay in a northern state where the asphalt is freshly paved, the C63S will probably ride a little bit better. After spending time with the 2021 Mercedes-Benz AMG C63S, starting price for the C63S here is at $76,200 with the options and accessories. The C63S sticks for $87,455. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video.